Full nerd. Hey guys, it's Minius, and I've wanted to go full nerd for a while now. And I sort of got an excuse to do so when C. Strider brought up a Mass Effect Andromeda desire, and that's for aliens to be, well, more alien. Because if you go through and look at all of the aliens in Mass Effect, most of them look very, very similar. They've got a head that's on top of their shoulders, they've got 2 arms and 2 legs and some fingers. Their faces usually have 2 eyes above their mouth. And then there are the Asari, who pretty much are human, except that they're very blue and have this squid hair thing going on. So how alien are all of these guys really? Well, to be fair to Mass Effect, this is an incredibly common thing in science fiction, and I actually approve of these humanoid aliens, even though I wouldn't mind seeing some crazy ones too. There are probably a bunch of different reasons for this similarity, and I'm sure some of this goes back to the old science fiction television shows, where the easiest way to portray an alien was by putting an actor in makeup or some kind of costume. And now at this point, people expect aliens to look humanoid. In reality, I'd expect aliens from other planets with different environments and histories to look very, very different from each other. So in fictional universes like Mass Effect, why are they so similar? Let me try an extreme example. Let's say you run into an alien race similar to a sea sponge that uses an electronic wheelchair to get around and looks like it's entirely made out of vomit. How likely are you to immediately listen to what it has to say? It could tell you the meaning of life, and your initial response is going to be something along the lines of, "Holy crap, this disgusting vomit sponge in a wheelchair is talking to me." It could be the smartest, friendliest alien out there, and it would still take a little bit to get over its appearance. Now, the science fiction crowd is generally more forward-thinking than the average human, but in general, humans have a tendency to make a huge deal over minor differences in appearance, and still do to this day. If something looks truly alien, the majority of people are at least going to have a mental hiccup before treating that alien with any kind of equality or even respect.
This one did not read that far into the script. This one does not share top billing.
And in a piece of fiction where you need a bunch of aliens to interact with each other and work together, mental hiccups on the part of your viewers or readers are not helpful. Of course, they could go with the whole inside matters more than the outside thing to serve as a story point, but if you're trying to fit in 6 or 7 different alien species, and you want the story to keep on moving, constant mental hiccups are going to completely derail your project. So, it's actually helpful to have a lot of aliens that look similar to humans. There are even a couple ways that humanoid aliens might be explained scientifically. One way is something you can see on our own planet, called Convergent Evolution. That's where species of completely different genetic histories develop similar traits to each other in order to best thrive in a similar environment. An example of that is the number of aquatic species with different evolutionary backgrounds, who have each developed a bioelectrical defense mechanism, like electric eels. It's possible that this humanoid form is the peak of evolution, and species who evolve into this form are more likely to succeed technologically. I think this might be a bit of a stretch, but it is possible. Also, there is Panspermia, a scientific hypothesis that comets, asteroids, and other spacefaring objects carrying microscopic life forms are actually responsible for seeding Earth and potentially many other planets and moons with life. If life on a whole bunch of planets has a common genetic origin, then perhaps it's more believable that they end up producing creatures that look similar to each other. Maybe. This might be even more of a stretch, but remember, we're talking about science fiction. Faster than light travel is probably impossible. So when they add that to a universe, how much of a stretch is that? One more thing about aliens in Mass Effect that I'm sure you have noticed is that they all appear to speak the same language, with sound out of their mouths. Again, this is pretty common in science fiction, and in the Mass Effect universe they actually explain this, but you kind of have to dig. The only time it's mentioned in gameplay is if you play as Femshep and spend extra time talking to Thane.
I think my translator just glitched.
Whoa! There are translators in Mass Effect, but their lips move with the right words. Well, this kind of has to be done to tell a story like Mass Effect. Imagine how much the series would lose if the alien members of your crew spoke haltingly, or with a weird growl, or even if their lips didn't match their words. Having seamless communication really allows the people playing the game to connect with those characters. Break that communication up, or lose it entirely, and the series loses its charm, its emotion, and ultimately doesn't work. So basically, having aliens that look somewhat similar to us, and can communicate perfectly, is what holds the Mass Effect universe together. Augment them even a little, and the Mass Effect universe falls apart. If you like this video, please give it a like. It really helps out the channel. Keep an eye on Minius GC for more nerdiness, and of course, Mass Effect videos. But for now,
I should go.
Ha ha ha!